Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good, baby.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, mister.
So, what's on your mind today? Did you have a good breakfast before we started this?
I did have a really good breakfast.
What'd you have?
I had paleo banana pancakes.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
They were actually tasty, and they didn't have a weird consistency.
Paleo does not mean cardboard tasting.
Right. You can buy this mix. The brand is called Birch Benders, and you can buy their
Birch, like the tree?
like the tree, yeah.
Okay, the paleo, yes.
Birch Benders brand pancake mixes at Whole Foods or Sprouts markets. They have paleo varieties in different flavors like banana, blueberry, or regular. And they even have keto varieties that are specifically keto. And they have like gluten-free varieties, so it's the shit. It's awesome. I had some pork sausage with it. I might burp a couple times during this podcast.
He's been burping all morning as we've been setting up. And
it's terrible.
You know, I'm a belcher, so I don't mind at all.
Okay, good, because some people just get so offended if I burp. Like, and I cover my mouth. I don't like burp like, blah, you know what I mean? But still.
I'm like a cow
like,
when I burp. They're nice and they're deep and they're manly.
Same. Yeah.
Good. I like that. I haven't had breakfast yet, but last night before bed, I had 3 donuts. I had a muffin, I had a donut, and I had a bear claw.
I love it.
And I can't just stop at one, you know.
A man after my own heart.
Oh.
Did you know that my favorite sweet is a baked good, like a donut? Like,
oh, yeah.
Some people are ice cream people. I'm more of a donut person.
Baked goods, totally.
Yeah, that's my jam.
I come from a family of amazing cooks, but amazing bakers. And people can cook, but not necessarily bake. And
yeah.
My mom and my family always had muffins and different bundt cakes and brownies and cookies. And my friends used to love coming over because my mom always had something to offer. There's always, even to this day, there's always something in the pantry or on the counter that's baked and sweet. And so my friends just loved coming over. Also, you don't know this, you assume everyone's mom can cook.
Right.
Well,
not everyone's mom can cook.
No, and people say, oh my God, I don't get this at home and I wouldn't want this at home. My mom can't cook. So thanks, Mom, for all these years of delicious cooking and baking. My mom's actually here right now.
Yeah?
I'm from Canada, and my mom comes about once a year to visit, and first she goes to my brother's place to see the grandkids.
Oh, okay.
And so she's at my brother's place now, and then she sometimes comes to the city to spend time with me.
Oh, nice.
And so she arrives. Well, you've met her. We were at House of Pies, and Nate was there.
I have met Kevin's mom is awesome, and she's funny, and she's hilarious, and yeah.
And she's the opposite of me. She's tiny, and she's weighs
tiny.
nothing.
She's a tiny, cute little woman.
And anyways, you'll get to see her again if you're in town next
Oh,
week.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well,
she loves meeting my friends.
Speaking of moms, like next weekend is Mother's Day, and
She's gonna be here for Mother's Day. Wow.
Yeah, and like my mom and dad are coming over to our house on Sunday, Mother's Day. We're throwing a luncheon for the moms,
nice.
And then David's mom is gonna be there too. And David's mom actually gets into town tomorrow, which is in our time Monday, and I'm picking her up from LAX during rush hour because I love her.
Are you crazy?
Her flight gets in at 6 p.m.
I'm like 4:05.
I'm like,
at rush hour on a Monday.
You scheduled your flight to get in at 6 p.m. and then you ask for a ride. I get it. She's older. She needs help with the luggage. I'm happy to.
No. Yeah. Make her take a taxi or an Uber.
I thought about it.
I thought about it. You're way too nice.
I still have to get a gift for my mom, so that's my homework in the next couple days. So I better get on that.
Good thing you told me. I can't believe my mom is actually going to be here for Mother's Day.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then what else is going on?
What
much happened in the last week. There's been some
Oh, sorry, go on.
musical things happening lately, like the Billboard Music Awards.
Billboard Music Awards. And it seems like all these big stars who just released music, were on there, from Taylor Swift to Madonna to
Sierra.
Yeah. What did you think? What did you?
I thought it
What
was
didn't
an
you like?
exciting show. I posted on my Facebook my list of top 5 moments, which I was
I saw that.
kind of taking the piss, but kind of serious at the same time. Like,
What were they?
like, and I fast forwarded through a lot of the BBMAs. I mean, come on. But
I only watch the clips on YouTube. Like
Okay.
I cannot stand sitting through an award show and commercials. So I just go and cherry pick what I want. But go on.
Paula,
yeah,
she was
yeah.
so like she made me feel feelings. She made me feel excitement and
All
joy.
cool.
That sprite little woman. Okay, she's like 56. You guys, she's 56 and she
No.
dances
No.
like she's 28. Like
She looks incredible. She moves incredible. Wow.
she's such a consummate
Older than
performer, and she performs to her crowd.
Hmm.
She comes close. She makes her rounds of the people in the front row and touches their hands, and it's like not a lot of performers perform like her anymore. It's like
Well, she's an entertainer. It's almost like
enter-
Vegas old style showmanship. Like they know how to put on a show for the audience. It's not just like here I am groping myself and being dirty. No, it's
and it's like the art of dance, and her dancers. She choreographs these these beautiful, choreography.
it's all men, right?
And it's
Yes.
I think it's all men.
Yeah.
I can't believe how well she moves at her age, and she played like a medley of all her hits.
And everyone and she got the closing. The big thing is if you get the opening number, the closing, and she got the closing number, and
She got the closing
everyone
number.
was cheering for her.
Yeah.
And she did these things that you don't see so much anymore, where she did a lot of jumping from a platform into the guys, but then being swung back and forth and back. And
flipped upside
still
down.
singing and
and
right
right side
upside
up.
down and still singing.
I don't know how much
Wow.
real singing was going on, but with Paula you don't
Lip syncing.
But with
still.
Paula you forgive that and you don't really care because it's all about the dancing.
But you know
But,
what?
like,
Lip syncing,
still.
like I used to be
But
like,
still.
how dare you lip sync? But if you're dancing, you're putting on a show, and it's like, you can't. Has anyone here tried to dance and sing or run on a treadmill? Try running on a treadmill and sing one song, let alone 30 songs. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, of course you're gonna lip sync.
I run on the treadmill and sing with my AirPods in my ear, but I probably sound horrible. I try not to sing out loud at the gym, but you know how like you get carried away and you.
You're so funny.
But that it does
So
happen.
if I walked into the gym and saw you on the treadmill, you would just be like starring in your own show.
I'm really feeling myself at the gym with my music.
You're so
It's usually like in between reps, I'm like lip syncing and rocking out to Def Leppard and rock music. That's what I like to work out to. But
I
yeah.
love it. I
But
love it. And then
yeah.
Sierra.
Sierra. Okay, let's talk about another performer who can really move and dance.
Oh my God. Incredible.
What did you think?
Dancer. Saying that she actually has moves like a guy, which was so incredible to see. It wasn't the sexy move, or like I call it like the tweaked out super fast moves that everyone's doing now.
Yeah.
That I think is just like not attractive and crazy, and I'm so tired of it. But she was to me, she was like almost like Michael Jackson-esque, like when he came on that Grammy show. I think it was the Grammy 30 show, and he did Beat It and Billie Jean, and he unveiled these dance moves that no one had seen before, or at least not to that level.
Yeah.
And to me, like that's what her performance was. We're not gathered around the TV the same way that we were 20 years ago, that everyone sees this moment, but Sierra's moves, I thought, and the crowd though noticed them, and you could feel like just being there, just the cheers and everything. Her moves were incredible.
Yeah, she has been around in the industry for over 20 years. She's probably my age. She's probably around 39, 40 years old, and she's fly, she's flawless. She is in a major power couple situation. She's gorgeous.
Who's her other half?
Her other half is one of the highest paid football players in the NFL, but I'm not gonna know his name off the top of my head. I'll have to go.
Wow. Oh wow!
I'll have to Google
So
that
they're a
one.
hot couple. And we'll say something about what she was wearing.
She was wearing Madonna's Express Yourself power suit,
Yeah.
which you could call it an homage. You could call it part of like the whole 1989, 1990
Revival.
revival moment that we're experiencing right now in 2019, that like that suit is very now again. And it probably was an homage. I mean, Madonna was there that night, obviously.
Oh, totally.
And of course it was
Totally.
conscious, right?
Totally. And it was boxy so she could move, because Madonna's was fitted and tight to show off that she's a woman, because it was. I
God,
noticed
like
that.
Sierra's was a little boxier, but in a good way. Like not just so she could move.
No,
like
sexy hanging.
yeah. Yeah,
You know,
like the sort of the
exactly.
blazer, like the sort of the high waisted moment with the bare midriff moment, with the shoulder pads moment, and the suit blazer and the pinstripe thing.
And wasn't she also wearing a fedora or a hat? Or,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or, anyway.
So was Paula. Paula flung her hat at a.
At Taylor's. Julianne Hough.
Julianne Hough.
And Julianne was like. And Julianne was like. "Ah!" It caught her on camera. She wasn't expecting it.
It was like a Mortal Kombat.
It was.
Or like Odd Job from James Bond.
I was just gonna say it was Odd Job from James Bond. Totally. If she wasn't prepared, she would have been decapitated. Totally.
Exactly.
Yes. What else?
And there was another award show recently, actually last night, the GLAAD Media Awards.
Ooh, that's huge every year.
And speaking of music moments and music icons, Madonna was honored for like a Lifetime Achievement Award. Actually, specifically, it was the Lifetime of Accelerating LGBTQ Acceptance in Pop Culture,
Sticking up for the gays.
which she has always done in her career, which has spanned at least more than 35 years.
Yeah. 1982, 82, something
Yeah.
like that.
And, obviously Madonna was at the BBMAs and had her big hologramtastic performance with Maluma, but then she was at the GLAAD to accept that Lifetime Award, which was very well deserved. And I say fuck the haters. I say she's 60. Maybe her music doesn't, like, the new singles that she's dropping now are not bad, but they're not like
I Rise and Medellin.
they're not like exciting me as much as her stuff from 15 years ago, but they're still pretty good. And let's face it, like, who has that kind of longevity and who stays relevant and continues to show up in the music business like her?
She keeps updating herself. I mean, that is actually what she's best at, is the
Reinvention.
business. Exactly, the business of reinvention and staying current. And sometimes, she tries to be ahead of the curve or on it, or what the underground is doing before it branches out to everybody, to the masses.
Right.
And people are. It all depends where society is, because some years everyone embraces her and loves her, and then there's years where she's just raked over the coals and made fun of, and it goes back and forth.
People are so quick to rake her over the coals, including people in the gay community, which is lame. But also, like, I have a DJ friend named Ryan Jones. Shout out to Ryan Jones, who made a really good point that it's often the tracks that she doesn't release as singles that are actually her best tracks. So when the full album comes out, I encourage you to listen to the whole album and spend some time on those tracks that she didn't drop as singles.
Yes.
And there you might find the better hidden gems, because for some reason, her people have this misconception of like what makes a hit or what makes a great single. Like lately, she's been in this habit of she puts her first single that she puts out is the one where she collaborates with another artist, but that's not necessarily her best song on there. And so the woman can still write and she can still make great music, but it's just, you have to sort of read between the lines. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I think what she releases is more about expanding her audience, because this is with Medellin, who is
Medellin.
not. Oh, sorry. Thank you. No, sorry. Thank you.
You're from Canada, so I forgive you.
Thank you. Who's the artist? Maluma.
Yes.
Who's not over, as far as I know, he's not overexposed and not guesting on everybody's tracks.
No, in fact, this is blowing him up like crazy, like making him a household name.
It's good for both of them. It's good for both of them.
Sure, yeah.
And so it's usually like when she releases something, it's usually a comment on something that's happening in society, or it is to hit people over the head and get attention, or it's a good business move and to get a new audience or a younger audience. Like when she teamed up with Britney Spears.
Yes. And with
did
Justin
that.
Timberlake,
Yeah.
and with Nicki Minaj.
I mean, she's a smart businesswoman.
Yeah.
And I think now the terrible thing is people are raking her over the coals for being sexy at 60, and they're saying like it's sad and pathetic, and you're trying too hard and this and that. And it's like, look at all these, like Cher and is 72, and Jane Fonda is like 80, and these women we've never. This is the first time that we've had women who are embracing their femininity, their sexuality.
Right.
It's tougher for women because there is more ageism than men can age, but women can't, and they have to get all the work and everything.
Yeah.
But we're really seeing like women where the longevity of their careers, and they don't just want to play the grandma roles. They still want to be like vibrant, and you know what?
Yeah, they want to play like an interesting, three-dimensional character, not the old lady.
Yeah, and
yes,
studies are showing that people who are 50 to 80
Yeah.
actually are having just as much or more sex than people who are 20 to 50.
yes.
Anyway,
I hope I'm as fierce as Madonna when I'm 60.
You'll be fierce.
I read an amazing interview with Angelica Houston, speaking of aging actresses
yeah.
who are still fierce.
Yes.
And she's amazing because she doesn't try to pull any punches in the interview. Like, she speaks very frankly about how shitty she was treated by certain directors in Hollywood back in the 70s and the 80s.
A lot of women are speaking up now.
And how, like, her dysfunctional relationship with Jack Nicholson. Oh God, speaking of older women being typecast, or she's talking about, the type of scripts that she'll accept or that she'll go for now at her age. And she made a pointed remark about, I don't want to be in a movie about old women who want to be cheerleaders again, which is a direct reference.
Oh no, that's a new movie with Diane Keaton
that has
called
Diane Keaton.
Palms,
So it's
about the old folks home ladies who form a cheerleading team. Anyways.
Yeah, so I thought that, I was like, oh, Angelica, that was shady, but like,
yeah.
But like, I love her character, the love interest of the trans woman's character in Transparent.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Maura. I'm gonna fuck it up. That's right? Maura, played by Jeffrey Tambor.
Yeah.
Right.
Was played by
Jeffrey Tambor. But I thought, wow, what a great role, and
and she was talking. I read that interview too, or another one that she's given just recently, and she also talked about the time that we're in now. And she said she would work with Woody Allen again, and she said men with older but younger women has always been taking place, but we're in a different period now, and that when she was 16, she was with this older photographer who, Bob Rafelson, or I'm going to get his name wrong. But anyways, and how terrible. He was either bipolar or schizophrenic, or he had mental health problems, and he was basically abusive to her, I think verbally and emotionally. But she was 16, and that was the norm at the time, and now we're in a different time.
Right, and it's, in a way, it almost sounded like she was kind of apologizing for certain men's behavior.
Because they're from a different period, and now they're stuck in a different period.
I don't think you can really apologize for their behavior no matter when it took place. Yeah. But I get sort of the point she was making that it was a different time. It doesn't make it right, it doesn't excuse it, but
no, right.
But people would look the other way for sure, and it went on a lot more than we even realize, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, the whole Mad Men thing.
Yeah.
Just women were not your peers. They were your secretaries, and they fetched your drink and your smokes, and you didn't voice their opinion.
And then they would go to the bathroom and cry.
Which sucks, which is terrible. I'm so for. I mean, I was basically mostly raised by my mom, even though I had a dad and a stepdad. But my mom was a big influence, and I have zero problem. I actually prefer working for and with women.
I love working with
have
women.
no problem with women calling the shots, and I've always loved chick flicks, which I see as movies. Actually, those are called movies.
Right.
You know, why is it? So is this a dude flick?
Right.
I guess a sports flick is a dude flick, but women go to those too. I mean, it's ridiculous the way we just have to compartmentalize things, and then going to like the blue for little babies and pink for little girls actually is now this I'm fuzzy on, but it's like that was actually a bullshit modern day marketing thing about selling stuff.
Yes.
It's that hasn't always been. There's so many things that are like just modern day and attached to marketing and how to sell something
That people take on as a matter of fact, or
that this has always been the way.
Right, without even realizing where it came from.
I mean, come on! Back in the 1600s, guys were wearing velvet culottes and stockings and capes and bell sleeves and come on.
I know.
And fancy collars and wigs. Anyways.
And you see things changing now, but yeah. I mean,
Yes, because we're going back to leotards and culottes and wigs for guys.
Yes.
And capes for guys.
Which is refreshing. It's time to spice things up.
All right. Tell me about this beagle thing. Did you take your dog?
So we have 2 beagles. I'll have to figure out how to post pictures on our podcast video about things that we're talking about as we talk about them. I'll figure that out and I'll do that. So because I want to post pictures of my
Links
kids
and websites
of my beagle kids. I have 2 beagles, Noodle and Samson, and we're on all these Facebook and Instagram. Well, not Instagram, but Facebook groups for people who love beagles.
Aww.
And through the grapevine online, we heard about this annual gathering called Beagle Fest, which is down in Orange County, California, which is in the city of Huntington Beach. And it's a gathering of like hundreds of beagles and their owners to get together and just hang out with beagles and appreciate everything beagle and take group photos, do a quote unquote beagle parade where they walk around the whole park. And I posted video yesterday on my Facebook page of some kid was flying a drone low over the field of beagles, and all the beagles started going nuts and like barking at the drone.
To antagonize them?
Probably on purpose to antagonize them, which I thought was like a little mean, but also a great opportunity to post some funny video.
While the dog's running.
The beagles were like going aggro like crazy.
Right?
And it was pretty hilarious, but it was cute. But it was one of those things where we were there for like about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then we're like, let's get the hell out of here, because it was about an hour drive each way for us, and we're like, we don't need to hang longer than like let's get back. Traffic in LA is bad every day of the week, including on the weekends. You just have to sort of deal with it. But anyways, it was adorable. I'll post pictures and a link to my Facebook for the video.
I love it.
But it was so cute. Yeah,
it's so cute. I wish I was there. I love dogs. I'm kind of like an uncle to friends and families' dogs, where I will house sit and
you love your
babysit for dogs, and everyone has a dog except me. But I'll get one soon. But I love dogs. Speaking of dogs,
yes.
I went with a friend to the movies the other night, and he brought his dog into the theater, and it's not a service dog, it's not a special aid dog. He just, and they didn't say boo or ask any questions, and the dog behaved the whole time. I only got scared twice. Gizmo is the dog's name. He's a terrier mix, so adorable, and he behaved. He didn't pee, he didn't bark.
Amazing.
I don't think you could take every dog to the movie.
No.
You know your own dog. But this was at the Grove here in Miracle Mile.
Mm-hmm.
We went and saw Long Shot, Charlize Theron's new movie with Seth Rogen, which is very funny.
Yeah.
And anyways, that's my dog thing. But I wanted to go
cute.
back and talk about, you were talking about traffic though.
Oh yeah.
In LA. Now you drive.
I drive all over the place.
You drive everywhere.
I drive everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I moved to the San Fernando Valley, to the community of Encino, which is a little further out from the central hubs of where most people live in LA.
So you have to deal with highway traffic and with street traffic and
constantly every day. I put, since I moved, I put so many more miles every month on my car, But I've gotten so used to driving, and I listen to my audiobooks and my podcasts that it's just something I'm used to. But I can't lie that it does sort of annoy me and you know, give me a little anxiety or frustration sometimes.
And you have to
you're dealing with drivers, you know.
plan differently too. Your timing,
You're
depending on
your
the day of the
timing,
week
yeah.
and the time. Now you have
Yeah.
to add, you know.
You have to add that much more time.
I
You
mean,
have to-
some things you're closer to, but some things you're farther away from.
some things you are closer to, and it's not everything's far away. It's true. It's the valley's lovely. Shout out to the valley.
Woo woo.
Yes, but to get anywhere to Hollywood, West Hollywood, downtown, it's a hike, and I have to plan.
You know how I deal with traffic?
No, you don't.
I drive a scooter.
He drives a scooter.
I drive not a what do you call that, the one where it's a stand up skateboard?
Not a bird, not a lime.
Right, not a bird or lime or like the one that you push on your foot, but a scooter like a mini motorcycle.
Yes.
It looks like a Vespa.
You have a really cute scooter. It's
Thank
like
you.
Very
Yes,
like, is
people-
it a vintage scooter?
No, it's styled vintage like a Vespa. It's
Okay.
called a Genuine Buddy scooter.
Nice.
And I've driven scooters for like 5 years, and I don't want to deal with, you know, the stress of the traffic in the city, and I get around so easily. When there is congestion, I
Yeah.
can just zip between the cars. When there's stacked at a red light, can
Yeah.
zip between the cars to the front of the line.
It's so nice.
When there's construction, I can quickly, you know, get through it and around it. Parking costs nothing. Gas costs nothing.
That's nice.
I think it's better for the environment. And on rainy days or when I can't take my scooter, I jump into an Uber or a Lyft or the subway. Yes, there's a subway here in LA, and it's pretty good.
You live kind of like on the grid too. You're like on that main grid of like in West Hollywood, which is the same grid as Hollywood.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of more flat streets to go back and forth.
Oh, it's so easy
on a scooter, you know.
to zip downtown. Well, if there's isn't too much traffic, I can zip downtown in about 30 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and
For a driver, it would take like an hour.
I go. My top speed is 50 miles an hour, and
Yeah.
if there's nobody on the street, I can fly, but never over the speed limit. In case someone who is, you know, police officers watching, I always stay within the speed limit.
Neither, nor do I ever drive over the speed limit when I'm furious on the freeway. Ever.
No,
Never
don't be
happens.
furious. You should always take the time to just breathe, count to 4, count to 8, and breathe. I used to do that when I had a car, and I turned my rage into meditation time, and I would breathe. I would also do an ab workout and a glute workout.
What?
And I would use my time, and I would
You would do an ab workout and a butt workout and a Kegel workout too?
all of it.
Wow. Okay.
Imagine 1 hour of stuck in traffic, doing that.
What is going on here? Meanwhile, I fantasize how I'm going to kill the person in front of me. So maybe I need to, you know, no, I'm just kidding. But we have to wrap up soon. Well,
Yes.
one spiritual tip I can offer while driving on the road is that every so often I have to make myself stop and let the other person go. And that act of slowing down and making and
Wait, because they're driving too fast and tailing too close to you, so you just like pull over to let them go and do their thing? Because I get that.
That, or just like there's those times when someone wants to exit a parking lot onto the street, and you don't have to stop and let them, but if you go out of your way to do that, then in some weird way it cuts down on the road rage, because like you've done something nice for someone else, and so it sort of karmically balances out the situation. Like for me, where I'm like, okay, because like that's where I get into trouble if I drive completely selfishly. That's when I get really pissed. Yeah. So it's like you have to sort of.
I see people do that, and I experienced that, and people. I'm on a scooter, so I'm not. Well, I actually do. If I'm up like on Mulholland or on a twisty thing and whatever, I will pull to the side and let cars pass, because I can see in my rearview mirror that they, you know, I'm holding them back, or there's 3 cars stacked behind me, and vice versa. Cars do that for me too. It's the better way to drive.
Yeah. Well,
Look at this. Look at, we're so high tech. We like,
these are our talking points, and we just cover whichever ones we want to,
we,
and
we
ignore
hit
the
half
rest.
of them, and whatever happens, happens. It's all organic.
We love talking. We love.
We gab too much. We could be here all day, and we've given ourselves like roughly a half hour cutoff point otherwise.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
thank you for watching and
so
listening.
much. Please, share this link with friends if you enjoyed us. We appreciate it, and well, we'll see you next week.
Tell us what you think. Love you
Let us
guys.
know what you think.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.